What's up, everybody? It's Egoleech, and welcome back to Road to the Storm. Today, we're going to be playing with everyone's big tub of love, Stitches, a tank that's really experienced a lot more play and a lot more viability ever since the major balance patch that came with Lieutenant Morales a few weeks ago. I played Stitches a reasonable amount, a little bit more than a handful of games. I never used him before the Morales patch simply because he was in such a bad place in the meta. But now I can kind of see his viability, especially with the way that Blizzard has sort of customized him as an anti-burst, anti-backline sort of warrior, which I think is a pretty interesting character concept. But let's see if my little bit of game knowledge and handful of games played with the character will lead us to victory this time. See you in a bit.
Stitches want to play.
Choose a talent. The battle begins shortly, heroes.
Strike without warning and show no
Alright,
mercy.
everybody. We're zoning in on Garden of Terror, probably my most disliked map in the game, but okay, we're going to deal with it. At level 1, based on the team comps we're seeing, our side Raynor, Stitches, Tyrael, Vala, Diablo, so very tank-heavy versus Raynor, Sergeant Hammer, Illidan, Gazlowe, and Vala, extremely auto-attack heavy. I am going to be taking Chew Your Food because Dampen Magic just isn't going to do a whole lot for me. I'm going to jump down here in bottom lane with Raynor and see if anyone needs my help in the other two lanes as the game progresses. Diablo's going to be soloing top, which probably isn't the best. Raynor's probably our best solo. But, well, we'll see how it turns out. So, we're not in a great spot as far as team comp goes. Auto-attackers are the solution to tank-heavy comps, and they have a lot of auto-attackers. So, we're going to have to CC and burst down people as best as we possibly can whenever we can. Oh, see? However, they do have a Sergeant Hammer, who I can periodically do things like that to hopefully get something done. Our Raynor is going to be taking a lot of damage, just eating hits from that Sergeant Hammer. Not a whole lot he can do about that. Chew Your Food is what's going to allow me to kind of play against the Sergeant Hammer. I'm going to hook her again and bring her in. This is not a good lane for Sergeant Hammer. The Stitch's hook really ruins Sergeant Hammer in a lot of ways. All I have to do is repeatedly position myself around to do my thing, as it were. So, as you can see, I can just pop in here, do that, devour, throw out some more damage. Do I get the kill? Unfortunately, oh, I do manage to get the kill. I think that was from my Vile Gas off my trait, but that's going to be first blood. And it looks like the enemy Illidan is also going to take a hit top lane, so this is already going a lot better than I anticipated. I thought this was just going to be merciless, but hey, we're doing okay. I'm going to come in here and drink for mana real quick, because I've been using these hooks almost on cooldown, and we're going to start collecting seeds. So, I have never been a big fan of this map. I find the seed collection minigame to be kind of tedious and kind of chaotic. I just never feel as in control on this map as I do others. I'm going to ping that I'm going over here for the friendly Raynor. It looks like they're not moving in here. Not sure what the enemy team is doing right now. At level 4, I'm going to take Amplified Healing. Now I know what you're thinking. Egoleech, why are you taking Amplified Healing when there's no healers on the field? Well, I've got a very good reason for that. Because Amplified Healing also applies to any sort of regen talents you have. So, when I take Chew Your Food, or excuse me, Hungry for More, or what, I don't even know what it's called at level 7. Savor the Flavor at level 7, which is going to increase my health regen based on how many times I manage to use my E on the enemy team. Oh, I can do that while here. And it's looking like we're going to pull a kill on that Sergeant Hammer once again. Friendly team is having trouble up top, so I'm going to indicate to the Raynor that after we clear this lane, we need to start working on this Garden Terror. We just saw a couple kill opportunities there. I'm going to ping for Raynor to help me. And just see what we can get down here. And I'm rooted, of course, because I'm bad at this game. So yeah, if that Sergeant Hammer doesn't start changing her playstyle, she's going to get ganked by me repeatedly, just because a hero like that who relies so heavily on placement really relies on not being displaced to keep herself safe. Me having possibly the strongest displacement technique in the game, I have the ability to do a lot of damage to someone like that. As you can see, she's pushing right in again, and I'm not sure what her plan is. Just going to use my Devour. Oh, I accidentally hit Q instead of W. I was going to use it to pick her up as she thrusted away, but unfortunately it wasn't an option. It's looking like no one on the friendly team is backing for the Terror, so I'm going to go back and get it. I'd probably prefer maybe Diablo, or actually, no, Tyrael would be the best candidate because he has a solid escape in the form of his Q. But, whatever. I'll take it, see what I can get done. Currently 5-3, not too bad. My numbers are nothing to write home about whatsoever, but hey, yeah, take what you can get. Got the Vala here, I'm just going to run in here, drop a plant, and then push back to bottom to assist the friendly Rainer. Gonna drop a Polymorph just to cover my escape. Although it doesn't look like anyone's really coming for me, and this is where I push in and start doing some work. Drop another plant right now, and burst down this wall. The reason I'm attacking the wall is to, if these guys hadn't shown up, to attempt to get in there and start wailing on the fort faster. Because that's the thing that really needs the auto-attack damage from the Terror. The plants will deal with the towers and the Moonwell and everything all on its own. However, it takes more hits to actually take down the fort, so I'm trying to get right in here and put as much damage as I can, assisted by our friendly potted plant. Just going to throw a Polymorph there on the enemy Sergeant Hammer, and right now there's another plant up, and I am going to rotate top. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get another plant out, so I'm just trying to maybe throw down a Polymorph on this Illidan. And, oh, no, he manages to get away somehow. And we got a little bit of an issue here, but I think we'll be able to cover for the escape. Can I get that Rainer? Yes, I can. I am pretty good at hooking. Not sure why some people have a whole lot of trouble with it, and there we are, level 10, where I'm going to be picking up, by default, Putrebile. I am more of a Devour guy myself, tend to prefer that. Vala is going to trade with the enemy Gazlowe in the range of his turrets, usually not a good idea. And we've got Diablo, who's probably going to get killed too if he doesn't leave, but fortunately the minion wave spawns at just the right time to allow him to survive. I'm going to ping that the friendly team needs to defend mid from the enemy Sergeant Hammer, and this is where I make my escape using my Putrebile, and they're not going to be able to catch up for me. Just going to lay down the green carpet, get a quick Devour on the Illidan to improve my regen bonus, which is going to be assisted by the... Oh, no one decided to do anything about that? It'd be really nice if someone would bother to go in there and do something. Anybody? No? Nobody? Use that Devour, just heal myself again, but now she's throwing down the Napalm and I can't do much. I'm not really sure what our team is playing here. Can I? No, I managed to get the minion instead, unfortunately. But another night phase is up, so unfortunately I'm going to have to leave this lane and just go get seeds unless we want a real bad time on our team's part. Just going to use my Devour on those minions to just clear these small seed camps that much faster. We did manage to deny the enemy team a terror on the first night, but I seriously doubt we're going to be able to do it on this one. Although the rest of my team is pushing pretty deep, which might distract them enough to just do this. I'm going to pick up Relentless just because I'm not going for a slam build, so Mega Smash isn't really important to me. They do manage to take out mid-fort, but we've taken 2 forts of our own. I want to ping someone to assist me, but based on how responsive my team's been so far, I don't know how much of a chance there is for that. So I'm just going to go in here and start soloing this thing. But no, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to get anything done. So I'm going to go up here, and while the rest of my team is pushing with whatever they're trying to do, I'm just going to start working on this Sergeant Hammer. It'd be great if anyone could show up and help me out. That would just be phenomenal, I think. And I'm getting stunned, but I'm just laying down the green carpet and doing as much as I can. Nope. I did not even need to throw the hook out because Sergeant Hammer died instantly anyway. Will Diablo be able to help our Vala secure the kill on the enemy Vala? Yes, he will, but unfortunately the friendly Rainer is going to take a death as well. Now, getting these kills is all well and good, but what we really need to do is pick up one of these terrors so we can get one tonight as well as the enemy team. Because if we just have them wandering around with a terror and we don't have one to respond to it, we're going to have a real bad time. My team seems to be playing this really aggressive, like, heavy push game. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, I'm not going to fault him for it. It seems to be working pretty well so far. I mean, we have an experience lead and a structure advantage. But at the same time, I feel like we could be getting more done if we would just kind of play a bit more traditionally. So, Tyrael, thankfully, has stopped by to help us out. And if we play our cards right and no one interrupts us, we'll be able to get a terror as well tonight, so I'm not too concerned. I'm eating that stun because I'm bad at the game. And there we are. So now we have our terror, so it's all good. But it looks like the enemy team is just beelining down mid to try and take us out. Fortunately, I have Putrid Bile back up, so I am going to be able to just lay down the green carpet, do some work right here, see what I can get done. I managed to take out the enemy Rainer, but there's probably nothing I'm going to be able to do against the... Ooh, this is a bad place for me, and I just go too deep, and I am getting punished for it. Not sure what the friendly team's doing. Apparently Diablo died a little bit before that engagement, which puts us in kind of a tough spot right here. It appears that our Vala has picked up our Garden Terror, but she's going to be destroyed pretty quickly just sitting in Sergeant Hammer's Napalm and Gaslow's turrets. So not a whole lot of work going to get done there. Whenever you are playing this map and you have a terror, by the way, at 13 I'm going to pick up Fishing Hook, which I just think is too useful to ignore at this tier. You basically always want your tank to be taking the terror, unless you have someone with a great escape capability, for instance, a Zeratul or something, then you might want... Oh, she jukes the wrong way, and but we got the kill anyway. That was kind of silly on my part. I should have anticipated that she would have gone that way rather than further down the lane. So, that didn't go as well as it could have, but we're still in a pretty solid spot here. We're still full level above the enemy team. I'm pretty comfortable with what's going on. Our crazy, aggressive team just wants to keep pushing, so you know what? I'm going to be a good teammate, and I'm going to head there and try to work it out with them. Remember when playing Stitches that your Putrid Bile is only on a 60-second cooldown, so you can really throw that out a lot more than you might expect. It's going to cover for my team right here, and now I'm going to walk away. I don't want to be fighting in the middle of that. Oh, let's see if I can get a pick real quick. Oh, well, that was a bad place for you to go, Illidan, because now he is body blocked in by the entire friendly team. We managed to pick up a kill on both the Illidan and the Rainer. So, oh, we're actually in a pretty good spot. Just Diablo has been eating those stuns for a lot of the game for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's just not paying attention, I guess. Just tunnel visioning a little bit too much. But either way, we're doing alright. That's going to be 3 for 1, which is a trade that I am pretty comfortable with. Stay out of that Gaslow stun, and we're going to be alright. Just going to hook the Gaslow, keep him there for a second longer. Fortunately, don't manage to get much done with it. Diablo is taken to death, and so will the friendly Tyrael, so it's definitely time to peace out now that Sergeant Hammer has respawned and we don't have immediate access to her. Night's going to be starting in about 15 seconds now. We haven't been doing much murking at all, simply because my team has been so fixated. I do manage to get that hook. Can we get something done with that? Yes, we do. I'm going to go in here with the Putrid Bile, slow down the Sergeant Hammer. Do I get her? Yes, we do. Well, more appropriately, the friendly Vala gets her. And it's looking like my team just wants to viciously push. I mean, these guys are just pushing fiends. And there we go. I'm eating the stun that time, but we do manage to get the kill on the enemy Gaslow anyway, so I'm going to consider that a fair trade. Now that we've got 3 of the enemy team down, I think this is probably a pretty good idea to just push in, just go for the throat. I'm going to hook the enemy Vala. She is not going to get away from Rainer's Raiders right there, and now we can just push directly into the keep. enemy team's in a bad spot because all of their, not just that they've died, but their deaths are so staggered that as we push into their core, they're going to have a lot of trouble actually being able to put up a solid defense. I mean, they can't really ignore us, but they can't really hide either way, or we're just going to take it out. My Putrid Bile is back up, going to get in here, going to get lots and lots of kills, and this is probably where we're just going to push directly into the core and win this game. Gazla's coming back. It seems that he wants to fire his little laser at us, but that's not going to do a single thing against a team like this. Tyrael throwing down the Sanctification. Didn't realize that he picked that up. Rainer's probably going to die, but that's not going to matter because we're just going to go through this slugging match here. I'm just going to eat one of those minions, keep my health up while we punch this in the hate. And that will be a win. Only one death on my part, not too bad, not too shabby at all. Tyrael apparently was our main tank, soaking 46,000 damage. But we'll take a more in-depth look at the stats when they pop up. So that's going to be a win. I am going to give most of the credit to that to my friendly team. In fact, I do want to see whether they were grouped up, any of them. No, none of them are in a party, but it seemed like Tyrael, Vala, and Diablo were making a very concerted effort to push super hard during the majority of that game. Now, Diablo obviously paid the price more than anyone with 8 deaths, more than anyone in the game, actually, but the reality is 28 to 18. There wasn't a whole lot they could do. What did the enemy team do wrong? Well, for one, Sergeant Hammer's positioning was super risky most of the time. They had no front line. I would say that was the biggest problem for them, is not having a tank meant there was really no one to protect their Sergeant Hammer or their Vala, who were just going to fall prey to hooks over and over again. The Stitches and Rainer combo, I feel, was super powerful bot lane. My hook, allowing me to bring in those softer targets, just kind of deliver them to Rainer's feet, and Rainer, with his increased attack range, is able to profit substantially more off that than anyone, because he can just sit in place and just wail on him. Not sure what the Rainer's build was. Yep, he was going to, well, he was going kind of a hybrid build, taking hamstring shot, but overall, it looked like he was mostly leaning towards auto attack. Definitely on their team, Sergeant Hammer was probably their weakest point, just regularly out of position, not learning from what happened the first few times that I hooked and blew her up. But either way, it was probably just a matter of MMR and the other team just getting outplayed pretty much. And comp probably made a difference because no warrior. If they had stacked up much earlier in the game, if they had stacked up and focused targets more distinctly, that much auto attack damage can really wreak havoc on a team like us. Obviously, the Diablo is probably the easiest to pop of the tanks, but they could just go Diablo, Vala, Rainer, just pop them all out, and me and Tyrael probably would have survived a lot of those engagements, but we wouldn't have been able to get anything done, and we would have lost the war of attrition. But either way, that is going to be another win here on Road to the Storm. If you like this content, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the video if you want to see some more content like this, and feel free to comment or message me if you have any ideas for heroes or builds you'd like me to play with in the future. So until tomorrow, or at least the next time I see it, depending on how matchmaking works, I'm Egoleech. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the Nexus.